Let's turn our attention to your health, and joining us once again on the program, always happy to have back on, is Lee Richardson. Lee, thank you for joining me again in Memphis. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
It's wonderful to have you back on this time of year. Of course, in the Mid-South, I know that grass pollens are an issue, but there are other kinds of pollution that can impact the body, and more so than what most people probably think.
Absolutely. You know, it's amazing. We think about all the senses that we have. The nose, our sense of smell, is the only sense that has a direct connection to the brain.
Wow. Okay, so now knowing this, I'm sure scientists have been able to maybe connect some dots and maybe figure out, I don't know, in the form of cures, but I would suspect that the nose could be the pathway to, if it has a direct pathway, it can also be for our detriment as well.
Absolutely. You know, I had a head injury about 25 years ago, and I lost my sense of smell. So, and at the time, I had two boys that were 2 years old, and I thought, well, if I have to lose a sense, thank goodness it's not my eyes or my ears.
Yeah.
But when losing that sense of smell, that has more emotional memory connected to it than any other sense. So we are learning, we're learning more and more about how the nose is a window to the brain.
Yeah.
They're doing brain surgery now through the nose.
What? Seriously?
Yes, they are. Seriously.
Huh. Wow, I laparoscopic, or I don't know how they would. Wow, I guess the tools for surgery are so small now. I guess. Wow, I guess with a camera you could attach. Wow, I just know.
I don't know how they're doing it either, but I was amazed to read that.
I just know when they check me for flu, I hate when they do that swab test all the way up my nose. That's the worst.
That's the worst for you, huh?
Yeah. Well, second worst, but anyway. So what, over the years, researchers have begun to put some links together between, I guess, pollution and some neurological diseases. Would that include like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, I guess?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And what they're looking at is the fluid that surrounds the brain. Mm-hmm. And that fluid is it's a buffer, and it protects our whole central nervous system. But what they've learned is the more they continue to look at it, is that fluid does more than just buffer. It kind of transfers stuff in and out of the brain. And we all know that there's certain plaques that are associated with some neurological conditions. And they're associating that fluid with not properly removing certain things that are in the brain.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we talk about, pollution can be a problem. What are some of the are there specific pollutants that in some of the research that has been found that impacts more so than others?
Well, I know that they're looking at soot and jet fuel particles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I think that they're looking at everything.
Sure.
And we don't know what's floating in the air. It's a mixture. It's a combination. As you said, this time of year, there's all kinds of stuff in the air. Pollen and the grass.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then come, of course, spring. We just got through spring, and then come fall, there'll be something else as well, for sure. Something to consider. I know that we talk about, pollution and in the fact that, when the air is stagnant, that it makes breathing difficult, but never really thought about it in the terms of in the long game, in the long term for people, and something to be even more so mindful when stepping outside and choosing, I guess, where you go. Lee, thank you so much for joining me again on Memphis Morning News. I hope that we'll have another chat here real soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.